A Gannons person for me is someone who is academically very sharp, but many of our applicants are. But the ones that get hired are the ones that have got some what I call noodle, and that means common sense. And that's also the ability to actually talk to a client with some confidence in plain terms. Very important. What you can fake intelligence, but you can't fake empathy. And a good lawyer will have empathy for the client. That means they understand the trials and tribulations of running a business. They understand all the competing interests chipping away at that person's time. And they deliver their advice empathetically with a real understanding of the difficulties of being in business. Well, one of the fortes, I would say, of Gannons is they get decisive advice. We never give anyone 5 choices. They will never, ever leave someone unclear as to what is the best route to take. Well, yes, it's got to be quick. It's got to be proactive. It's instant gratification society. Our job is to make it look easy. Clients, therefore, don't often understand how many different complex issues may be going on in the background. They don't want to know how many complex issues are going on in the background. They want a quick piece of advice. But act in haste, repent in leisure. A lot of what we do does require thinking time. Journey time for our clients is probably around 5 to 10 years from start up to sell off. A lot depends on what they're doing and whether or not some big fancy player fancies their particular product. But the little nimble firms like ourselves will get you a much better deal than the great big firms where a small, medium-sized enterprise is right down on their pecking order. We love the work. We will put you high up on our list. We'll roll out our top guns and we'll treat you with due respect. You might not get that elsewhere. So it's not just corporate advice at Gannons. We can look at all of the problems which a business faces, which may be employment, dealing with the hiring of staff, incentivising them through our share options, dealing with dismissals, and also protecting the company's intellectual property through the restrictive covenants. We do an awful lot of letters protecting the companies from restraints of trade, cease and desist letters they're known as. And another area where we're frequently working is where the business is self-combusting. People do fall out, especially private companies, which is our sweet spot, and we sort out warring shareholders who need to be sorted out quickly because it's so disruptive to the business. Well, I think the problem with tax is many solicitors are petrified of the word and they avoid it like the plague, and they'll say, talk to your accountant. But to get a good transaction and get a good deal structure, you've got to be thinking about tax at the beginning, because it comes into whether or not you're going to be taxed at 10 or 20%, or whether or not you're going to be paying tax at 45% plus national insurance. So to park the subject, which is what many law firms would prefer to do, I don't think is prudent. Gannons, well, I'm a chartered tax advisor, so we do offer tax as part of our work, and that cuts down on your costs because it means you don't have to join up the dots with what the lawyers are saying with what the accountants are saying.